Oh, okay, it's really super hot in here, but it is what it is. Okay, so this is a story about why I am choosing abstinence, or why abstinence chose me, kind of a little bit of both. But in order for me to explain it, I gotta go back. So from the time I was 13 and up, I've been a very sexual person, and it's been a great life. I like touching people. People like touching me. It was like a very nice thing. When I got to college, I started another relationship I was in. Go ahead, read chapter 5. I was in a relationship, and I was like, okay, I'm sleeping with you, so that's enough. And I would hook up with other people. So to me, I wasn't considering it cheating, because I was only sleeping and having sex with one person, but I was still hooking up with other people. So I didn't really consider it cheating, but it was. In retrospect, that was wrong. But yeah, up until that point, through that whole entire relationship. So now it's like since I was 13 to like 22, I was sleeping with people, but I was cheating, and it was just a whole big ball of messness, right? After that relationship ended, I decided I was never gonna cheat again, because I literally, like, it broke my heart that my life turned upside down because of my era of judgment and cheating ways and whores who made me cheat. Okay, fine. I was a whore too. So anyways, life goes on. I'm in grad school part-time. I'm working at a store part-time. Go ahead, start reading chapter 7. Chapter 7, some of my best work. I had some of the best hookups. Okay, so I'm just living the life, going to school, working, and hooking up with people, and that's when I meet Jillian. And Jillian just went, changed my entire world. I'm saying, like, I was walking through life with, like, beer goggles on, and then, like, she came and she cleaned them, and I could see clear again. And I've never been more mesmerized by a person in my life. And that scared the fuck out of me. But we'll get to that. Turns out, Jillian in this story, we're vibing. Things are great. But Jillian has a boyfriend. But spoiler alert, go on and read chapter 7. Yeah, the end of chapter 7 is where you meet Jillian. She breaks up with her boyfriend, and she likes me. That's right, me. I win again, because that's what I do. I set my sight on you, and if I want you, I will get you. And it never usually turns out the way you want it or I want it. So here I am in that exact point. Jillian leaves her boyfriend. Her and I are a thing, hanging out, living life. We're not having sex, okay? It's not until a month goes by where she says she's ready, okay? That whole entire month, I was like, we're not having sex. What do I do? What do I do? Like, I didn't know what it was like to be with somebody and not sleep with them. Like, that wasn't a thing in my world. Like, I didn't know what that was. So after a month, she says she's ready, and I was like, okay, I'm good. And the reason she didn't want to sleep with me originally at first, okay, right away, that was a whole lot of words for the beginning, is because she knew I had a reputation. She knew that I was a player, okay? So she was wary, as it was. So all my words literally meant nothing, that I wasn't gonna cheat, like, I wasn't gonna do anything. All my words meant nothing. She had her own convictions, and she was like, I'm not sleeping with you, you're gonna wait, and if I'm important enough to you, then you'll wait. And turns out she was, and I did. And now here's the day where she's ready to have sex. And here we go, start hooking up, it's great, 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 and then I say I can't do it. Yeah, I said I can't. Yeah, I know, I was as shocked as I was, like, shocked, like, what the fuck? So I push her off me, and I say I can't, and she started crying, and she's like, you're rejecting me, and I was like, it's not like that. Like, I literally pushed her off of me because of all the things she was afraid of for sleeping with me, I was afraid of doing. And here I am, ready to seal the deal, and then what? Then in the next morning, I'm gonna, like, not want to be with her, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So I pushed her off of me, we fought, and then boom, after a whole boatload of fighting, slept with each other. First time was awesome, and it was great, and it was, from there, we had a very active and awesome sex life, like, probably the best sex life I ever had. And maybe because it was all the love shit, like, yeah. Go ahead, read chapter 8, it was thebomb.com. And so, anyways, life goes on. Her and I are together for about 2.5 years, and boom, we break up. I didn't cheat, I didn't touch one other person, and we just break up. Problem is that we broke up for a boatload of other reasons that had nothing to do with having sex with other people. So I still wanted to be together, and in order for us to get through this breakup, you know, I was like, I'm not gonna sleep with anyone. That was 3 years ago, okay? 3 years ago next month. So we break up, and I don't want to fuck anything up, so I'm not sleeping with anyone, I'm not touching anyone, I'm still talking to her, and, you know, this whole little pattern goes on and on and on and on for a year, okay? And I'm saying, like, I'm not having sex at all, at this period, none, sex, zero, okay? A year goes by, and I'm still talking to Jillian, and I'm like, are we ever gonna, like, figure this out? Are we ever gonna get back together? And I could tell you a whole other video of all the problems, but you could go start reading them in my books, Wedgaholics.com. So yeah, I'm not hooking up with anyone, and then one night, I decided to go out with some people, and I had sex with this guy, who we'll call Miles. Miles had a really awesome, perfect penis, I'm not gonna lie. We had sex in his bathroom. Yeah, it was a good time, except somebody walked in, and so yeah, it was a little gay, kind of a little gay doing it, but hey, whatever, it was a great time. Could have been better. I just did it because I felt like doing it. He was a hot looking dude. Actually, he was not my type at all. I don't even know why I just said that. He was a good looking guy. I could see how girls would like him, but I just needed to get laid. I figured if I slept with a guy and Jillian were to ask me, you know, later, that it wouldn't be that big of a deal, okay? So that, I don't know, whatever. I have some weird logic. Anyways, life goes on. Jillian and I are still talking. So this is now, you gotta imagine, a year and a half after a breakup. And finally, we're fighting, and I'm like, if we're not gonna be together, like, fine. Like, I need to move the fuck on. And I say, and by the way, I fucked this guy. And she was just like, what? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I don't even know who you are. And I'm like, whatever. Maybe you don't know who I am because you left me. And we've been talking to each other via Skype for a year and a half. Maybe that's why you don't know me. So Jillian and I are officially done speaking, period, you know. And which brings us to January of this year. That is the last time I've heard from her. And, but so for literally 2.5 years of breakup. We like dated 2.5 years, and then we broke up for 2.5 years. And during that breakup time, I stayed away from other girls. I stayed away from most people. That whole Miles thing was just like a bump in the road, and I just wanted to do it. And so now here I am, gonna be 3 years after Jillian, and the problem is that I've had the opportunity to sleep with people. I almost like took on how she felt about me. Like, you know what? If you are worth anything, I'm gonna make you wait, and if I'm worth something to you, you're gonna make me wait. And that's kind of what I brought out of that relationship, and I think it's a pretty good thing. You know, I've had a lot of hookups and a lot of relationships that have gone bad, and I kind of like the idea of seeing if somebody is worth more than a margarita before you get them in the bed. So yeah, that's pretty much how, at first, abstinence chose me because I had a broken heart and I literally couldn't touch other people, and then how I chose abstinence now because I'm worth more than a margarita. More like a shot of tequila. We don't need those sugary bitch drinks. So, yeah. And I have no idea what lies ahead in the future, but I'll tell you right now, I am not in the business of cheating. I am not in the business of random hookups and one-night stands, and I think it's because I've been 30 for 11 days, and I've matured. Yeah. But I will keep you updated because God knows when I go out, if you never know what's going to happen. And that's all I got to say. Remember, always have protection. And the best protection is abstinence. Yeah, we're done.